Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures, and today we get a break from all the resin and metal stuff and the super glue for once to finally put something together in plastic. Yay! So we got a box of the new Mantic Northern Alliance Clansmen for Kings of War. Now, I'll be honest, I have no desire to build blocks of hundreds of little dudes that all kind of look the same, but I certainly don't mind building my set of just enough guys to use for a skirmish game. And I'll be honest, I love me some barbarian types. I always have, and I probably always will. And they look quite primitive, which I'm happy about. I don't know how many do we get in here. Blah, 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 blah. Does it say anywhere? How many guys are in this box? It does not say. Why doesn't it say a regiment? Isn't a regiment 20 in Kings of War? I don't know. Enough talk. Show us the goods. Okay. First off, I am a bit saddened by the loss of the old school Mantic clan packs. Those things were awesome for the VHS boxes for carrying stuff. Those were like my go-to Warcry, skirmish, warband things. So I still have a ton of them, but I gotta say, this is a lot more effective, their new method of packing the plastics that I have seen and encountered at least so far. So it looks like I got 20 guys because there's 10 and 10 bases and I can do the math. Nothing fancy there, just regular 20mm bases. Sadly, there's no cards for Vanguard. It would have been a nice little bonus to include those, but, you know. This is for regular Kings of War, after all. However, they do have rules for these guys in Vanguard, and that's what I'm going to be using them for. Alright, so I am going to take a wild assumption. Oh, no, they are not the same. I was assuming they were going to be the same. Okay. So, let's get this zoomed in a little bit better, if I can do that, which is entirely debatable. Alright. Make sure the camera's actually steady there. So you have 10 bodies, and it looks like we have 2 of each on the frame. Maybe 3 for these dudes. Nope, okay. So you get 2 advancing forward, 2 guys with fancy belt details, 2 guys with the horns, and then 2 guys with a bunch of javelins or whatever they got, decorative bits, tusks on the back. So, 4 of each sculpt in all. You have the leader bits right here, I'm assuming. A couple different hand weapons. At least 4 different shields on this one. I don't know what this thing is right here. Looks like a backpack or something. A wide variety of heads, that's always appreciated, and they're looking cold enough that you probably could get away with using these guys in Frostgrave too. So I'm thinking I need to go grab all my Frostgrave models and we'll give them a good comparison when the time comes. So this is basically just the body bits. I'm not sure what these are. These might be arms. How many heads we have here? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different heads. I do like the guy wearing the bear wolf pelt here. Kind of nice. So 10 heads there. Let's see if there's any more over here. Sadly, it doesn't look like it. What a shame. Okay, but it does look like we have enough shields for... Is this a shield? Before I... Yes, they are shields. Okay. So we got a variety of shields. Looks like one for every guy. I don't know if they have a 2-arm dual wielding option. Can't see. I'll try building some just in case. In worst case scenario, we can always combine weapons and hands and make something new. So you have a whole set of hand weapons. You've got a set of spears and a couple extra javelins here for someone to carry. And a cool little bonus is you've got these 2 foxes or wolves. I'm assuming they look kind of fox-like. But a nice little bonus there. So you get 4 of those in all. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking it's time to make me a new Paleo Diet warband. So if you guys haven't checked out Paleo Diet, and I know I've talked about it before, it's a cool little prehistoric caveman skirmish game with a bunch of AI animals that you gotta hunt down. So, 20 dudes in a box. Not a bad deal. I'm just going to go ahead and build 10 of them for now, because I don't know what I'm going to do with them, and I probably am going to want to kit bash some of them anyway, so we'll start with those. We'll grab a couple other models, and we'll see how they all compare, because I'm quite curious. Stick around! So we've got a small sampling of our Northmen here. And as you can see, they're just going all over the place in terms of directions because I have no intention of using them in any kind of ranked formation. They're going to be full-on Vanguard or whatever else appeals to me at the moment. Now, first things first, I got to say, Mantic, you've stepped it up again. The quality is just getting better and better. The sculpt quality is quite nice. And while we do have repeats of items, I can't expect that the entire sprue is going to be each and every item a individual unique piece. But with the parts available, I think there is a lot of options in terms of putting together something interesting for whatever size fighting group you may have. I really like this dude's horns. I'm assuming these are like the boss shields, but you know, you can do with it whatever. So he has an actual helmet. I was going to give him a sword, but you'll notice he does have an actual blade attached to his stick there, as opposed to this guy who's got just a big piece of bone. But I mean, you could totally use these guys in Frostgrave. Here's your pack mule. He's got a nice little backpack on there. You've got all your basic weapons covered. Except were there bow and arrows? I don't even remember now. I don't have the box handy. Otherwise, wait, no, I do. Let's check. I want to say there's not. That would be the only downside. Yeah, there's no ranged weaponry with the exception of maybe having guys hurling javelins if you want to have them all equipped with those. Like our friend right here who looks like he's ready to either stab or hurl it. I don't know which. I really love these covered hooded heads. So, I mean, you could use these guys for all sorts of things, and I have every intention of doing that because they're pretty cool, I gotta say. Unfortunately, the only downside is they're really going to be limited, so far, at least, in terms of what you might be able to kit bash these guys together with. Because of their size, scale, and unique clothing, I don't think they're going to really lend themselves to really getting mashed together with other model lines or kits. Let me see, where's my Basilian, who's usually hanging around here? There you are. I feel like these guys are a bit bulkier than the Basilians, and, you know, the Basilians have kind of generic weapons anyway, so I'm not sure why you would really want to use them in lieu of their actual Northman parts. I love the guy with the animal pelt helmet. Nice touch. So, you can see they do have a bit more bulk than the Basilians, which are my current standard size Mantic human. I thought I had a couple other random Mantic bits laying around here. Oh, they had an old succubus that was missing her arms, but again, you can see there's a big size discrepancy. These dudes are big, burly men compared to our lithe little demon lady there. Let's see how they look compared to some other human kits out there. Oh, I just realized I don't have any of my Shield Wolf Shield Maidens laying around. They're pretty barbaric looking in terms of size. So our traditional GW Witch Hunter actually fits quite well in. So that's good. If you wanted to mix these with older GW kits, that would not be a problem. Busting out our Dark Oath War Queen. Have a bunch of evil clansmen. I mean, obviously she's on a bit of an embellished base. You could totally use these guys as some kind of northern chaos cult that's developed out in the wild. Oh, I just realized I don't have any Untamed Beast guys from Warcry in my vicinity. Shucks. Because they would probably fit right in too. I don't have any of my Nords handy for Conquest, but considering the size of Conquest models, these guys, while a little bit shorter than the Men-at-Arms, look like they'd probably fit in pretty close if you got enough of them hanging out together. I don't know why in all his fancy armor he'd want to be hanging out with a bunch of swarthy looking barbaric types, but you know, whatever. Grabbing a couple other generic barbarians. I have I want to say this is a Deep Cuts WizKids model, but he's on a super gigantic base, so that might be messing with the size, whereas our Frostgrave friend is looking a bit small. in comparison to these guys. But then again, the Frostgrave models have always been a little bit on the smaller scale of things. Grabbing my Artisan Guild barbarian lady. I think she'd fit in pretty well. Her base is a little bit taller, but in terms of scale of the bodies, they look pretty spot on. So if you want to start mixing and matching, I don't have any Reaper Bones barbarians handy. I wonder why. That's odd. I usually have barbarians of some sort. Ah, there's that. Ooh. Okay, if you want more barbaric types using our Conquest Nord blooded. Okay, well, he's like gigantic anyway, but you can see here he's going to definitely be a bit taller than them as well. So I don't know how well Nords and Northmen are going to mix on their own. But as its own kit, I gotta say, these guys are quite cool. I am going to be building some more, and hopefully you will be seeing them back on here with some paint on them soon. I don't know if I'm going to use lots of grays or lots of browns. Maybe the initial batch will be in browns and tans and khakis, whereas the next group will be in grays. I don't know. But I think you can get a lot of use for them, and especially my first thought is Paleo Diet in Vanguard, obviously. But anyway, I'm rambling at this point, and if you're interested, do check out Mantic's website. And Mantic's stuff should be somewhat more easy to find stateside than a lot of these other smaller companies that I tend to focus on. So at least that's a plus. With that said, this is High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye.